Listen, here's what he has. It speaks to Steve's point. Which has been driving conservatives crazy, right-wing nuts like me, for 2 cycles now. He has confidence, and he's not defensive, and he doesn't accept the premise of the question. And conservatives want somebody who's going to stand up for what we believe in. And he's at least standing up for the principles. And why I think there was...
For what principles?
He's not defensive?
The principles are that there's a core competence of government that is missing. Yeah. And I know that the government can work. I'm not anti-government. Republicans are not anti-government. We've made New Orleans work. You made San Francisco work. Federalism works. The federal government is not working.
All right, there she is, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mary Matalin, Republican political consultant, former advisor to Vice President Dick Cheney. And here she is now with us. Hello, Mary.
Well, hello, Steve. Happy summer, almost, middle of summer.
Great job on Bill Maher on Friday night on HBO. That's where that cut was from. And so let me ask you. I mean, what is going on here? What did you think? Was Megyn Kelly out to get Donald? Was she out of line? Was Fox wrong?
I think they would have been better if their objective was, and I'm not saying it was, but if their objective was to test him, they should have tested him on policy prescriptions. We all know that he has a personality, and we all know he snaps like that. But what I had been saying previously, and what I alluded to on that cut, was we're just conservatives who have won over 1,000 seats in the last 2 cycles are sick of electing people, and then nothing happens. We want somebody who can be produce a clarion call for conservatism, and he's just a clarion call. He's not defensive. So they should have used their opportunity to pin him down on some policy prescriptions, but starting where they did in the whole woman's thing, to my mind, accepts the premise that there is a war on women, which I resent and object to. So I do think his subsequent behavior was inappropriate, not necessarily to her per se, but if you can't whine. When the Klieg lights are on and you're in the big game, you can't whine.
So you believe that his remarks about the blood were related to her period?
I hope not. He says they weren't. I have to take him at his word. I just think the whole whining about everybody, Eric Erickson, everybody, you can't spend all your time accentuating your own negatives. What people like about him is that he doesn't complain, he doesn't whine. Well, that means for everybody, okay? Ben Carson didn't whine for getting no time. Carly Fiorina didn't whine for not even getting on the big stage, and those were the 2 that made the most progress in the debate. So I just think my cardinal rule for candidates of integrity and competence is just suck it up, whatever it is, and I think he would have done better than going on the post-debate jihad. Whether or not it was fair is irrelevant. I don't care who it is. There's never going to be fairness in the forensics for Republicans. We always had to defend ourselves. We always have to explain ourselves. And that's just something everybody should be ready for.
Even on Fox, right? Apparently.
Well, I don't, their opinions are obviously to the right, but their coverage is, whether or not the mainstream wants to accept this premise, their coverage is pretty middle of the road, that they tend to cover issues that are more relevant to people than the agenda items that the liberal press thinks are at the top of everyone's agenda, from climate change to abortion to whatever, or they don't cover Planned Parenthood. Then that would make Fox, I guess, common sense, not so much conservative. But Megyn Kelly is no conservative. Chris Matthews is no conservative. Brett Bart is a straight guy. I mean, it's just not that they're only conservative relative to the universe. Let me say it like that. But they're not conservative like I'm a conservative.
Right. Or I'm a conservative. All right, so let me ask you, Carly Fiorina, who came out and basically said that she believes that Trump was talking about Megyn's personal, time of the month. How do you think? She helped herself in the poll, although, and so did Donald Trump, by the way, in that same NBC poll, online poll. Is Carly going to take off now?
About 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago maybe, I had Carly Fiorina at my house in New Orleans, and we are friends, and I like her a lot. As you know, I'm for the message in this race, not the man or the woman. And she was spectacular. Everybody in town wanted to meet her. She raised a bunch of money. I'm actually speaking with her later today. I think she's terrific. All I care about what these guys are saying, and I understand everybody has to get involved in the day-to-day tweet wars and all that. But why I like Carly is she's an unabashed, confident, courageous conservative. I think what these candidates should do is take the approach that Cruz and Rubio have taken, which is, I'm not going to respond to all the Donald Trump questions, or the one that Kasich took, which is, I get what Donald Trump has tapped into, this anger amongst Republicans, what his support is coming from fallen away Republicans who want a conservative. And
Absolutely.
You know what I mean, a limited government guy. So you got to understand what he's tapping into, and then challenge him on his policy prescriptions that would be an application of conservative philosophy, which every one of those guys have done in their careers, and they have a record. So I think it's a distraction for all these candidates to just follow the premise that the Donald's the story.
I agree with you. All right, Mary, great to talk to you as always, and give our regards to Carly. Thank you very much.
I will. Love you. Miss you.
Miss you. Can't wait to see you. Thank you, Mary. Mary Matalin, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming back with the panel. Don't go away.